Zechariah, Zekarya. Chapter 1. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Dariawesh, came the word of Yahuah unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, Yahuah has been sore displeased with your fathers. Therefore say you unto them, Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, Turn you unto me, says Yahuah Tsebah, and I will turn unto you, says Yahuah Tsebah. Be you not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, Turn you now from your evil ways and from your evil doings. But they did not hear, nor hearken unto me, says Yahuah. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? But my words and my statutes, which I commanded my servants the prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers? And they returned and said, Like as Yahuah Tsebah thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so has he dealt with us. Upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month of Shabbat, in the 2nd year of Dariawesh, came the word of Yahuah unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom, and behind him were their red horses, speckled and white. Then said I, O master, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show you what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom Yahuah has sent to walk to and fro through the earth. And they answered the angel of Yahuah that stood among the myrtle trees and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sits still and is at rest. Then the angel of Yahuah answered and said, O Yahuah Tsebah, how long will you not have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Yehudah, against which you have had indignation these 70 years? And Yahuah answered the angel that talked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry you, saying, Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Therefore, thus says Yahuah, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it, says Yahuah Tsebah, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Cry yet, saying, Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, My cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and Yahuah shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. Then lifted I up mine eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Yehudah, Yasharel, and Jerusalem. And Yahuah showed me 4 carpenters. And then said I, What come these to do? And he spoke, saying, These are the horns which have scattered Yehudah, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn over the land of Yehudah to scatter it. Chapter 2. I lifted up mine eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. Then said I, Whither go you? And he said unto me, To measure Jerusalem, to see what the breadth thereof is, and what the length thereof is. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls for the multitude of men and cattle therein. For I, says Yahuah, will be under her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, says Yahuah. For I have spread you abroad as the 4 ruach of the heaven, says Yahuah. Deliver yourself, O Zion, that dwells with the daughter of Babel. For thus says Yahuah Tsebah, After the glory has he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and you shall know that Yahuah Tsebah has sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of you, says Yahuah. And many nations shall be joined to Yahuah in that day, and shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of you, and ye shall know that Yahuah Tsebah has sent me unto you. And Yahuah shall inherit Yehudah his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, before Yahuah, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. Chapter 3. And he showed me Yahusha the high Kohen standing before the angel of Yahuah, and the adversary standing at his right hand to resist him. And Yahuah said unto the adversary, Yahuah rebuke you, O adversary, even Yahuah that has chosen Jerusalem rebuke you. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Yahusha was clothed with filthy garments, and stood before the angel. And he answered and spoke unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused your iniquity to pass from you, and I will clothe you with change of raiment. And I said, Let them set a fair mitre upon his head. So they set a fair mitre upon his head, and clothed him with garments. And the angel of Yahuah stood by. And the angel of Yahuah protested unto Yahusha, saying, Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, If you will walk in my ways, and if you will keep my charge, then you shall also judge my house, and shall also keep my courts, and I will give you places to walk among these that stand by. Hear now, O Yahusha the high Kohen, you and your fellows that sit before you, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I will bring forth my servant, the branch. For behold, the stone that I have laid before Yahusha, upon one stone shall be 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave the graving thereof, says Yahuah Tsebah, and I will remove the iniquity of that land in one day. In that day, says Yahuah Tsebah, shall ye call every man his neighbor under the vine and under the fig tree. Chapter 4. And the angel that talked with me came again, and waked me, as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, What see you? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof. And 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. So I answered and spoke to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my master? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Know you not what these be? And I said, No, my master. Then he answered and spoke unto me, saying, This is the word of Yahuah unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my ruach, says Yahuah Tsebah. Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel you shall become a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shouting, crying, Grace, grace unto it. Moreover, the word of Yahuah came unto me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house. His hands shall also finish it, and you shall know that Yahuah Tsebah has sent me unto you. For who has despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice, and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. They are the eyes of Yahuah, which run to and fro through the whole earth. Then answered I, and said unto him, What are these 2 olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick, and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again, and said unto him, What be these 2 olive branches, which through the 2 golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered me, and said, Know you not what these be? And I said, No, my master. Then he said, These are the 2 anointed sons that stand by Adon of the whole earth. Chapter 5. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What see you? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that steals shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that swears shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, says Yahuah Tsebah, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swears falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. Then the angel that talked with me went forth, and said unto me, Lift up now your eyes, and see what this that goes forth is. And I said, What is it? And he said, This is an ephah that goes forth. He said, moreover, This is their resemblance through all the earth. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sits in the midst of the ephah. And he said, This is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the ephah, and he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. Then lifted I up mine eyes, and looked, and, behold, there came out 2 women, and the ruach was in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven. Then said I to the angel that talked with me, Whither do these bear the ephah? And he said unto me, To build it a house in the land of Shinar, that it shall be established, and set there upon her own base. Chapter 6. And I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. In the first chariot were red horses, and in the second chariot black horses, and in the third chariot white horses, and in the fourth chariot grizzled and bay horses. Then I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, What are these, my master? And the angel answered and said unto me, These are the 4 ruach of the heavens, which go forth from standing before the Adon of all the earth. The black horses which are therein go forth into the north country, and the white go forth after them, and the grizzled go forth toward the south country. And the bay went forth, and sought to go that they might walk to and fro through the earth. And he said, Get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth. So they walked to and fro through the earth. Then cried he upon me, and spoke unto me, saying, Behold, these that go toward the north country have quieted my ruach in the north country. And the word of Yahuah came unto me, saying, Take of them of the captivity, even of the Chaldee, of Tobiyahu, and of Yedaiah, which are come from Babel, and come you the same day, and go into the house of Yoshayahu, the son of Tsephaniah. Then take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set them upon the head of Yahusha, the son of Jehozadak, the high Kohen. And speak unto him, saying, Thus speaks Yahuah Tsebah, saying, Behold the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of Yahuah. Even he shall build the temple of Yahuah, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne, and he shall be Kohen upon his throne, and the counsel of peace shall be between them both. And the crowns shall be to Chalem, and to Tobiyahu, and to Yedaiah, and to Chen, the son of Tsephaniah, for a memorial in the temple of Yahuah. And they that are far off shall come and build in the temple of Yahuah. And you shall know that Yahuah Tsebah has sent me unto you. And this shall come to pass, if you will diligently obey the voice of Yahuah your Elohiym. Chapter 7. And it came to pass, in the 4th year of King Dariash, that the word of Yahuah came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Kislev. Now Bethel had sent Sharetzer and Regem-Melech and their men to seek the favor of the Yahuah, and to speak unto the Kohen which were in the house of Yahuah Tsebah, and to the prophets, saying, Should I weep in the 5th month, separating myself as I have done these so many years? Then came the word of Yahuah Tsebah unto me, saying, Speak unto all the people of the land, and to the Kohen, saying, When you fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did you at all fast unto me, even to me? And when you did eat, and when you did drink, did you not eat for yourselves, and drink for yourselves? Should you not hear the words which Yahuah has cried by the former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabited the south and the plain? And the word of Yahuah came unto Zekarya, saying, Thus speaks Yahuah Tsebah, saying, Execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassions every man to his brother. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. But they refused to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the Torah and the words which Yahuah Tsebah had sent in his Ruach by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from Yahuah Tsebah. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, says Yahuah Tsebah. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate. Chapter 8. Again the word of Yahuah Tsebah came to me, saying, Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus says Yahuah, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of Yahuah Tsebah, the holy mountain. Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, There shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, If it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes? Says Yahuah Tsebah. Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, Behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their elohiym in truth and in righteousness. Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, Let your hands be strong, you that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of Yahuah Tsebah was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there were no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men every one against his neighbor. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, says Yahuah Tsebah. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their due, and I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass, that as you were as a curse among the heathen, O house of Yehudah and house of Yasharel, so will I save you, and you shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. For thus says Yahuah Tsebah, As I thought to punish you when your fathers provoked me to wrath, says Yahuah Tsebah, and I repented not. So again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Yehudah. Fear you not. These are the things that you shall do. Speak you every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor, and love no false oath. For all these are things that I hate, says Yahuah. And the word of Yahuah Tsebah came unto me, saying, Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, The fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th, and the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th, shall be to the house of Yehudah joy and gladness, and cheerful feasts. Therefore love the truth and peace. Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, It shall yet come to pass that there shall come people, and the inhabitants of many cities. And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, Let us go speedily to pray before Yahuah, and to seek Yahuah Tsebah. I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek Yahuah Tsebah in Jerusalem, and to pray before Yahuah. Thus says Yahuah Tsebah, in those days it shall come to pass, that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Yehudi, saying, We will go with you, for we have heard that Elohiym is with you. Chapter 9. The burden of the word of Yahuah in the land of Chadrak and Damasek shall be the rest thereof, when the eyes of man, as of all the tribes of Yasharel, shall be toward Yahuah, and Hamath also shall border thereby, Tsor and Sidon, though it be very wise. And Tsor did build herself a stronghold, and heaped up silver as the dust, and fine gold as the mire of the streets. Behold, Adonai will cast her out, and he will smite her power in the sea, and she shall be devoured with fire. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Azah also shall see it, and be very sorrowful. And Ekron, for her expectations, shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Azah, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Pelishti. And I will take away his blood out of his mouth, and his idolatry from between his teeth. But he that remains, even he, shall be for our Elohiym, and he shall be as a governor in Yehudah, and Ekron as a Yebusi. And I will encamp about mine house because of the army, because of him that passes by, and because of him that returns. And no oppressor shall pass through them any more, for now I have seen with mine eyes. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king comes unto you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak peace unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. As for you also, by the blood of your covenant, I have sent forth your prisoners out of the pit wherein no water is. Turn you to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto you. When I have bent Yehudah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up your sons, O Zion, against your sons, O Yahuah, and made you as the sword of a mighty man, and Yahuah shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning. And Adonai Yahuah shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. Yahuah Tsebah shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls, and as the corners of the altar. And Yahuah, their Elohiym, shall save them in that day as the flock of his people. For they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon his land. For how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty! Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids. Chapter 10. Ask you of Yahuah rain in the time of the latter rain. So Yahuah shall make bright clouds, and give them showers of rain to everyone grass in the field. For the idols have spoken vanity, and the diviners have seen a lie, and have told false dreams. They comfort in vain, therefore they went their way as a flock. They were troubled, because there was no shepherd. Mine anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I punished the goats. For Yahuah Tsebah has visited his flock, the house of Yehudah, and has made them as his goodly horse in the battle. Out of him came forth the corner, out of him the nail, out of him the battle bow, out of him every oppressor together. And they shall be as mighty men, which tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets in the battle. And they shall fight, because Yahuah is with them, and the riders on horses shall be confounded. And I will strengthen the house of Yehudah, and I will save the house of Yosef, and I will bring them again to place them, for I have mercy upon them, and they shall be as though I had not cast them off. For I am Yahuah their Elohiym, and will hear them. And they of Ephraim shall be like a mighty man, and their heart shall rejoice as through wine. Yea, their children shall see it, and be glad. Their heart shall rejoice in Yahuah. I will hiss for them and gather them, for I have redeemed them, and they shall increase as they have increased. And I will plant them among the people, and they shall remember me in far countries, and they shall live with their children and turn again. And I will bring them again also out of the land of Mitzrayim, and gather them out of Ashur. And I will bring them into the land of Gilad and Lebanon, and place shall not be found for them. And he shall pass through the sea with affliction, and shall smite the waves in the sea, and all the deeps of the river shall dry up, and the pride of Ashur shall be brought down, and the scepter of Mitzrayim shall depart away. And I will strengthen them in Yahuah, and they shall walk up and down in his name, says Yahuah. Chapter 11. Open your doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour your cedars. Howl, fir tree, for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. Howl, O you oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. There is a voice of the howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of the roaring of young lions, for the pride of Yarden is spoiled. Thus says Yahuah, my Elohiym, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahuah, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. For I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, says Yahuah, but lo, I will deliver the men, every one, into his neighbor's hand, and into the hand of his king, and they shall smite the land, and out of their hand I will not deliver them. And I will feed the flock of slaughter, even you, O poor of the flock. And I took unto me 2 staves, the one I called Beauty, the other I called Bands, and I fed the flock. 3 shepherds also I cut off in 1 month, and my soul loathed them, and their soul also abhorred me. Then said I will not feed you. That dies, let it die, and that is to be cut off, let it be cut off, and let the rest eat every one the flesh of another. And I took my staff, even Beauty, and cut it asunder, that I might break my covenant which I had made with all the people. And it was broken in that day. And so the poor of the flock that waited upon me knew that it was the word of Yahuah. And I said unto them, If you think good, give me my price, and if not, forbear. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And Yahuah said unto me, Cast it unto the potter, a goodly price that I was prized out of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast them to the potter in the house of Yahuah. Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even Bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Yehudah and Yasharel. And Yahuah said unto me, Take unto you yet the instruments of a foolish shepherd. For lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young one, nor heal that is broken, nor feed that stands still, but he shall eat the flesh of the fat, and tear their claws in pieces. Woe to the idle shepherd that leaves the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. Chapter 12. The burden of the word of Yahuah for Yasharel, says Yahuah, which stretches forth the heavens, and lays the foundation of the earth, and forms the ruach of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Yehudah and against Jerusalem. And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth shall be gathered together against it. In that day, says Yahuah, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness. And I will open mine eyes upon the house of Yehudah, and will smite every horse of the people with blindness. And the governors of Yehudah shall say in their heart, The inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength in Yahuah Tsebah, their Elohiym. In that day will I make the governors of Yehudah like an hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in a sheaf. And they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. Yahuah shall also save the tents of Yehudah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Yehudah. In that day shall Yahuah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as Elohiym, as the angel of Yahuah before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the ruach of grace and of supplications, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourns for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. In that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadad Rimmon in the valley of Megiddon. And the land shall mourn, every family apart, the family of the house of David apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Nathan apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Leui apart, and their wives apart, the family of Shimei apart, and their wives apart, all the families that remain, every family apart, and their wives apart. Chapter 13. In that day there shall be a fountain opened to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahuah, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean ruach to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, You shall not live. For you speak lies in the name of Yahuah, and his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesies. And it shall come to pass in that day, that the prophets shall be ashamed every one of his vision, when he has prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am an husbandman, for man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one shall say unto him, What are these wounds in your hands? Then he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, says Yahuah. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass, that in all the land, says Yahuah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people, and they shall say, Yahuah is my elohiym. Chapter 14. Behold, the day of Yahuah comes, and your spoil shall be divided in the midst of you. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall Yahuah go forth, and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of the battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Atzel. Yea, you shall flee, like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziahu, king of Yehudah. And Yahuah, my elohiym, shall come, and all the saints with him. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to Yahuah. Not day nor night, but it shall come to pass, that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be. And Yahuah shall be king over all the earth. In that day there shall be one Yahuah, and his name one. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Ramon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place, from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananel unto the king's winepresses. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahuah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahuah shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Yehudah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents, as this plague. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came up against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king Yahuah Tsebah, and to keep the feast of Sukkah. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the king Yahuah Tsebah, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Mitzrayim go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague, wherewith Yahuah will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of Sukkah. This shall be the punishment of Mitzrayim, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of Sukkah. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses Kodesh unto Yahuah, and the pots in Yahuah's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Yehudah shall be holiness unto Yahuah Tsebah, and all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and seethe therein, and in that day there shall be no more the Kenai in the house of Yahuah Tsebah.